Caustic Love is the third studio album by Scottish singer-songwriter Paolo Nutini, released on April 14, 2014 by Atlantic Records. After releasing his critical and commercial successful album Sunny Side Up, Nutini began touring, which ended 2 years later. In February 2011, Nutini began writing and recording the album Caustic Love, which was co-produced by Nutini with Dani Castelar. Upon release, Caustic Love was met with positive reviews from music critics, who noted the album as the best UK R&B album since the 1970s blue-eyed soul heyday. Commercially, the album was a success. It debuted at #1 on the UK album charts with 109,000 copies sold, making it the fastest-selling album of the year in the region. The album was preceded by the single Scream, released as a digital download on January 28, 2014 and as a physical single on March 30, 2014. Background: in May 2009, Nutini released his second album, Sunny Side Up, which debuted at #1 in the UK and in Ireland. It contained the singles, Candy, Coming Up Easy, Pencil Full of Lead, and 10/10. Sunny Side Up has also been certified 5 times platinum by the BPI and was the 8th biggest selling album in the UK in 2009. In December 2013, he announced via social networks that his new album Caustic Love will be released in April 2014, Friday 11 April in Ireland, Monday 14 April in UK. Recording: as of February 2011, Paolo Nutini was in the studio working on new material. He toured for 2 years after the release of his second studio album, followed by a hiatus from music in which he went home and spent a good few months partying there. Then I detoxed, then I retoxed. During this time, Nutini was writing along and recording little bits. For the following 2 years, Nutini put the spotlight on the album, stating he had never written as much, but I had to take a bit of time. My writing used to come from a different place. I used to be more picky and there used to be a more pop sensibility to what I would naturally come up with. This was followed by Nutini writing nothing but poetry, which he used to hate the notion of trying to turn it into a verse-chorus type song, and struggled with it and got no pleasure from it whatsoever. The album's recording took place in a variety of locations, including Grouse Lodge Studios in Ireland, RAK Studios, Psalm Studios, Studio 45, The Premises, The Strong Room in London, Studio Baxeter in Valencia, Spain, Sunset Sound in Los Angeles, The Old Police Station in Glasgow and Toy Room Studios in Brighton. Songs: Iron Sky is psych rock song described as being a slow burner. The Independent described Iron Sky as being a stirring blend of conscious soul subject with deep soul style, and compared the song to being like Percy Sledge singing Curtis Mayfield. The song features an audio excerpt of the famous speech Charlie Chaplin gave in his film The Great Dictator. Singles: Scream was released as the album's lead single on January 28, 2014 and as a physical single on March 30, 2014. A music video to accompany the release of Scream was first released onto YouTube on March 10, 2014 at a total length of 3 minutes and 19 seconds. The video was directed by Nez. The song has peaked to number 12 on the UK singles chart and number 5 in Scotland. The song has also charted in Belgium and Switzerland. Critical reception: Caustic Love received positive reviews from music critics, holding a score of 79/100 on Metacritic, indicating generally favourable reviews. In a very positive review, The Independent called the album an unqualified success, later going on to say it may be the best UK R&B album since the 1970s blue-eyed soul heyday of Rod Stewart and Joe Cocker. Chart performance: Caustic Love debuted at #1 on the Irish Albums Chart, outselling the same week's #2, The Vamps Meet the Vamps, by 5 copies to 1. In the United Kingdom, as of April 20, 2014, the album had sold 109,000 copies, therefore, making it the fastest-selling album of the year, beating Sam Bailey's The Power of Love, which sold 72,644 copies in its debut week. The album held on to the top spot of the UK charts for a second week, bringing its total sales up to 162,000 copies. Track listing, notes, Let Me Down Easy contains a sample of Let Me Down Easy by Betty Lavette. Bus Talk, interlude contains a sample of Stop. In the Name of Love is performed by Margie Joseph, and of Giving Up by Gladys Knight and the Pips. Iron Sky contains a sample of the 1940 Charlie Chaplin film The Great Dictator. Charts, certifications, release history. See also, list of UK albums chart number ones of the 2010s, references. External links, paolonutini.com